Well, I prepped myself for being here for another 2 weeks, and then after I did finish the last video and started uploading it, one of the shrinks with one of the workers here came and told me that I can go home tomorrow. I could have gone home tonight, but I thought it was too much to do in one night. It'd be one mad rush, and I probably wouldn't have got to sleep till the early hours if I'd have done that tonight. Yeah, it's like she was sort of asking me stuff and saying, "I think it's gonna be okay when you go back home," and all this sort of thing, which was sort of attempting to say, "Look, it's going to be okay. This is done," like sort of thing. But like I said, I have got more experience of this than anyone else. So for me, it pays to be sceptical. I'll go into it hoping, well, yeah, this may well work. Going home, having a carer and taking the meds and so on and so forth. But I've still got to be sceptical. It may work out. If it works out, then I'll go with it. If it doesn't work out, then I'll have to go with that. But I sort of, as the hours progressed, I sort of got more comfortable with the idea. But one of the things that does get me thinking is that would I be able to go through the type of druggings that I went through just after the new year, which I'd said were probably the biggest challenge in my life. And I think you only have to go through that once to be able to go through it again, to have the knowledge that you've been through it, to have that going into it, sort of thing. And if it comes to that, I think I could do that again. But it's taxing. That is tough stuff. That is heavy duty work. But I won't be going back to the telly, and not for no major reason other than that. I pretty much dealt with that, like I said in another video. I don't see the point in, as it would be, once I've resolved that, to go to a medium that just doesn't do it for me. I do like the internet, but that may be made difficult, but if it is, it is, and then, that's just the way it is. But yeah, as the hours have progressed, I've sort of got more into the idea that this and looking forward to going back to the flat. I bought a load of kit for this, that, and everything. I'm starting to think, why did I buy that stuff? There's stuff for doing videos, for example. I'm starting to think, well, hang on a sec, what will I actually have to talk about? There's actually not that much, because, for example, the book I mentioned in the last video, Dialectic of Enlightenment, I'm finding it tough to get into. It's not a very accessible text. And, I do like challenging stuff, but, that is quite something. I can't see myself coming across someone who's as great with writing and speech as Marshall McLuhan, for example. Walter On's book on orality and literacy. Another great book, but for different reasons. It's just great to get into stuff like that. But yeah, I've been looking on AI. Or is it? Who controls her? Who knows these days? But we're looking on AI for how to transition to going back home, back to the flat. My feet are swollen, like I've said before. This bed that I'm sat on, that's by the window. I actually really like this view. That's by the window. It's got some wooden slats that dig into the back of your legs, and so they cut the blood supply, it seems, to your lower legs and your feet, and so they become swollen, and it won't. I mean, the shrink said go to your GP, but all it'll take is sitting on on an average settee and on an average bed, like I've got back home. So yeah, it's just like. Initially I was a bit taken aback by you going home tomorrow. But I started, for example, these things. That's actually a vape. Look at the state of it. Apparently they're going to change it to better stuff around July, I think. They said June or July. July, I'm pretty sure. But I can't wait to get back to my vape. And my coffee machine that I'm going to have to descale the minute I get there, which is going to be a drag. Got shopping coming first thing, so I've really got to click into things pretty quick. But yeah, a bit wary. It's going to, despite making sure here that I try to avoid becoming too institutionalised and looking up. Brushing up on how to manage the transition of going from here back to the flat. It's all right to read up on stuff like that and to prepare yourself mentally for stuff like that. It's another thing to actually do it. So that's going to take time. But yeah, just gradually, just more and more getting into the experience of and the mindset of and looking forward to it, and even though initially I was in a different zone sort of thing. It's a different zone of thinking, which was tied to being on the ward and stuff and going for another 2 weeks. But yeah. So tomorrow early, look at that, 10 weeks, 5 days, wow. But luckily, I'd got shopping ordered for tomorrow, but I don't know if I've got too much shopping from the freezer, and for the fridge freezer, too much food, so I might have to chuck some away, but it's got to be done. So another thing, this idea of reclusiveness, that is quite a worrying idea in some ways, because for like I said, looking over the 25 years, sometimes occasionally at some of the good stuff that went on, there was quite a lot of social involvement. The stuff with the telly, again, some sort of dialogue and stuff like that. But no, I'm not going to have that. I'm not. I don't think I'll miss that. But I think being in a place like this for 10 weeks, 5 days. There are going to be certain things about the time, how time works, how space works, that I'm going to have to get used to back at the flat. I want to get a new chair, so if I do a vlog, vlogs, video diaries that I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about in. I'll have a at least half decent background for it. But yeah, semi-final night here. I've got an Asda curry. I do like the Asda curries. They're pretty good. Tesco's are better, but there's not much in it really. With the chicken madras, they do it Asda. And the chicken vindaloo they do at Tesco. They've both got their pluses and minuses. But what a thing to talk about. This is everyday life, isn't it? But yeah, so I'll save on for the foreseeable future at least getting a TV license. I'll invest in other things, other ways of keeping myself in my hobbies, sort of thing. But yeah, it's going to be quite a challenge to live a reclusive life of solitude. I've quite liked at times of being in this room. You get all sorts of shenanigans and amateur dramatics going on out there. That's just the way it is. But being in here with a view I quite like. There's one of the flats or whatever it is up there. They've usually got their light, and I can't make head nor tail out of what's in that flat, but just something to look at to while away the hours. 10 weeks, 5 days. Well, like I said, a lot went into improving things. I can't discount meds. Someone, like I said in one of the last 2 videos, some of them I'm okay with, some of them I'm not too sure about, but I'll take them and see what happens. They've also agreed, they did change the carer, they've also agreed to be not going down to the psychiatric, that I don't have to go to the psychiatric unit, so they have made a big effort. The reaction I got to my skepticism, healthy skepticism, skepticism you have to have, right? You need to have a skepticism about institutions, no matter what they say, in my opinion. Despite the fact that they really do want this to work. It does pay to be sceptical, but to also give them the benefit of the doubt that despite the shenanigans that have been going on here tonight, give it a chance when I get back to the flat. But it is going to take me time and to adjust to being in the flat. But I did read on one of the AI services that I use, ChatGPT, by the way. I've migrated from Perplexity, which is all about facts and stuff like that, current facts, to ChatGPT, which for me is more about reasoning and working through an argument sort of thing. And one of the things that it suggested, you have to be good at what questions you put to it. But one of the things it did say was not only for me to find my way, but to allow the space, the area, to find its way too, and whatever that means. To other people, it means something to me, but I'm not sure whether that means that I'm conveying that very well. While I've been here, I've got some really great stuff together. I've got some great little tripods, some lights that I really, really like, that are miles better than the lights I had before. Software that I've been getting into, getting back into reading, avoiding the telly like the plague, eventually making a clean break from music, for example, and the telly as well. Music especially is just not for me anymore, I don't think. But one day I might listen to a tune or two and see how it goes. But I doubt it. Telly, like I said, but I don't think, no, coming to think of it, like I said, if I do ever go through those types of druggings again that I had after the new year, around the time of the new year, I came through them then, I did really well. I've got to take that to heart, if the shit ever hits the fan again, then I can sort of deal with that. As the hours have passed, despite maybe appearances, I'm really looking forward to going there. But they've done a good job. I've got to give them credit. They've done a good job, despite the fact that I've also done a good job, I think, of navigating a way through being here without getting consumed with the dramatics that have been going on here. And just quite a lot of the time doing my own thing. But yeah, so that's about it. So, you know, hopefully I'll get a decent night's sleep tonight. Got my curry in a bit. The last video, I think, took 5 hours to upload. A 5 gig video took 5 hours to upload. Oh, fucking believable. I've got fast mobile data as well. So who knows how long this is going to take. But it usually doesn't take that long at this time of night. Maybe it was some of the peak hours earlier on. But yeah. So yeah, that's about that.